If you think you've seen karma hit fast before, wait till you hear how this father made every single person in that school remember why you never mess with the wrong person's child. Make sure you stay till the very end, because what happened next didn't just change one school, it changed an entire community. And hey, if stories of justice and courage inspire you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because this one will move you. It all started on a Tuesday morning. Emma had just transferred to Ridgeway High, a quiet, shy 16-year-old girl with big brown eyes and a backpack that looked too heavy for her small frame. She didn't talk much, kept her head down, and ate lunch alone under the oak tree by the football field. What nobody knew was that Emma had just moved from a military base where her father, Major Ryan Cole, had served 22 years as a decorated Marine, a man who had faced war, chaos, and loss. But nothing would prepare him for the sight he was about to witness that day. The first few days at her new school weren't easy. Teenagers noticed how she flinched when someone raised their voice, how she seemed out of place. The popular group, led by a boy named Derek, saw her quietness as weakness. Derek was the kind of kid who fed on fear. His father was rich, the school's biggest donor, and Derek thought that made him untouchable. With his group of friends, he'd make snide comments whenever Emma passed by. "Hey, new girl, did your dad forget to teach you how to smile?" they'd say, laughing among themselves. Emma never responded. On the fifth day, things went too far. It was lunchtime, and the cafeteria buzzed with chatter. Emma sat alone at her usual spot. Derek and his group walked in, loud and laughing, carrying trays full of food. They spotted her instantly. "Watch this," Derek smirked, striding over. His friends followed, pulling out their phones, already recording. "Why so quiet, new girl?" he teased, sitting across from her. Emma didn't respond, just tried to stand up and leave. But Derek blocked her path. "Where you going?" "We're just trying to be friendly," he said, grabbing her wrist. That's when things spiraled. Derek's tone shifted, darker, more aggressive. He pushed her shoulder, making her stumble back. One of his friends whispered, "Dude, chill." But Derek didn't stop. He suddenly grabbed Emma by the collar and pushed her against the wall, one hand tightening around her neck. The cafeteria went silent. You could hear Emma's backpack drop to the floor. Her eyes widened, struggling for breath. What none of them knew, not even Emma, was that her father, Major Cole, was standing right outside the cafeteria window. He had come early that day to drop off a form for the principal. When he glanced through the glass, what he saw made his blood freeze. For a split second, the Marine in him went still, assessing the scene, reading every threat, every angle. Then, instinct took over. He stormed into the cafeteria so fast that even the teachers didn't react in time. The room froze. Major Cole's boots echoed against the tiles, his eyes locked on Derek. The look on his face was cold, controlled, the kind of expression that only a man who's seen combat wears. "Let her go," he said, his voice calm but carrying the weight of command. Derek's hand dropped instantly. His friends backed away, their phones trembling in their hands. The principal rushed in a moment later, shouting, "Major Cole, what's happening here?" But Major Cole didn't even look away from Derek. "This boy just tried to choke my daughter," he said, his voice steady, almost too calm. Then he turned to the principal. "I'm not just a father. I'm a Marine. And I've seen what happens when people think they can hurt others without consequence." The entire cafeteria was dead silent. Derek's face turned pale. It was just a joke," he stammered. Major Cole stepped closer, his presence towering. "A joke? Son, there are things you can joke about. But laying your hands on someone smaller than you isn't one of them." The principal immediately called security, and within minutes, the police arrived. Derek's father tried to pull strings, tried to use his influence, but it didn't work this time. The video, recorded by Derek's own friends, spread across the school and then online. The image of that decorated Marine standing beside his trembling daughter became a symbol. A symbol of standing up. Of justice, but the story didn't end there. The next week, Major Cole was invited to speak at the school assembly. He stood on stage, wearing his Marine uniform, his medals glinting under the lights. Emma sat in the front row, her head high for the first time since she arrived. He spoke not as a soldier, but as a father. "Courage isn't about how strong you are," he said. It's about what you do when you see someone being hurt. Every one of you has the power to stand up, not just for yourselves, but for others. Don't wait until it's too late. The students listened in silence, no phones out, no whispers. For the first time, they felt the weight of their actions. Even Derek, suspended and forced to attend, couldn't lift his head. From that day on, everything changed. The school started an anti-bullying campaign. Students began stepping in when they saw cruelty. And Emma, the quiet new girl, became a voice for others who felt invisible. She started volunteering, helping kids who had been through the same pain. Her father's calm courage had taught her something powerful, that sometimes strength isn't about fighting, it's about showing up, speaking up, and never backing down. By the time the year ended, Emma wasn't just the new girl anymore. She was the girl who reminded everyone what bravery truly looks like, and as for her father, he didn't need to fight that day. His presence, his love, and his discipline as a Marine spoke louder than any words could. He had fought wars overseas, but that day, he fought one at home and won, not through violence, but through truth. So, if you believe in justice, in courage, and in standing up when it matters most, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs a reminder. Heroes aren't always on the battlefield. Sometimes, they're sitting quietly in the cafeteria, watching, protecting, and waiting for the moment their strength is needed most.